Thank you, Mo, for joining us in Kona. And I see Director Waljan and members of the Parks and Rec staff here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for also taking the time to meet with me ahead of this meeting to just get up to speed on what your challenges are. And so I'm really happy that we're going to be having this discussion so that the community can be made aware of the many challenges that your division and department are facing. I also want to thank you so much for all of your work to bring the Pahoa pool back in working order, especially before the summer. We've seen a huge uptick in use. Alejandra, you provided me with some pretty incredible statistics about the usage at Pahoa Pool. In June 2017, there were 15,000 pool goers. This June, there were close to 20,000 people, almost 700 people a day going to the Pahoa Pool. That's a lot of folks. So it's a very, very important public recreational asset. And because of the high use over the summer, we've seen a number of calls and emails from constituents about staffing, hours of operation, and the various, I think, important programming that you are providing to the community. So I just wanted to get an update from the department as to the challenges you're facing, and then also share with us the status of work at the Pahoa District Park Complex and your 428 submittal.
Some of the complaints that we have from constituents were our daily closing or our lunchtime closing. And we just wanted to let people know that the reason for those lunchtime closings are, number one, of course, for our staff to have lunch. But we also, because of the amount of people, and Ashley, how you said, we have about 700 people a day in that pool, we have to check our chemical levels during this lunchtime period and make sure that all of our chemical levels are safe for the public, and also the cleaning of the bathroom. So right now, we are fully staffed at the pool. We have run into some issues at the pool over the summer. For instance, we had our senior lifeguard running a handicap program in the daytime, in the first part of the day, and that was taken away from some of the open swim times. This was a pilot project that we tried, and it was very successful. And we did try to explain to the public at times that because these children were handicapped, that it required full participation from our lifeguards, and for the most part, everybody understood. We also have senior programs during the day, and we have our open swim times for quite a few hours during the day. Now that school's back in session, of course, we expect to see our usage go down, but right now we're fully staffed and we're ready to serve the public, and we're still going 7 days a week. Right?
Can you tell me a little bit about the closure during lunch? Because I recognize staff needs to eat, but it's more than just that. It's beyond running the chemical tests. There have been some incidents in the bathroom that I would like for you to share with my colleagues, so they're aware of, it's not just lifeguards watching people swim in the water. They're having to keep their eye on the entire aquatic center, and with that comes a number of issues.
Right. So the way the Pahoa pool is set up, if you haven't been there, when you come from the parking lot area, you walk through our gate, and on the left and right hand side are our bathrooms. And then after you pass the bathrooms, then you go into the pool area. What this allows, I believe that this setup was for, like, if you had somebody outside in front, either paying to enter the pool or people checking for them to enter the pool. That way, you know, somebody would always have eyes on them. But instead, what's happening is our lifeguards do not see the people until they pass that barrier of the bathrooms, and they're actually in the pool area. We've had instances where our lifeguards have found bags of methamphetamines in the women's bathroom. We've had, recently we had a houseless woman with open sores showering in the bathroom, and refused to leave or refused to get assistance from us. And so we actually ended up having to call the police. We've had 2 vehicles get stolen out of our parking lot, because people will come in and going through the back area or through the entrance area. where everybody keeps all of their belongings. And of course, our lifeguards, they're trying to pay attention to everything that's going on in the water and in the kiddie pool. And we've had 2 vehicles stolen there. So we have some issues. So our lifeguards, they're watching the patrons, they're watching the bathrooms, they're watching for, lack of a better word, criminals coming into the area. So it's a very, very stressful environment on them. Um,
And
and
Mo,
we,
what's their hourly rate? They're
uh,
SR-15s, right?
yes, I'll let Alex go for that. I think it's about $17.
17,
I believe that's right.
$17.60. Thank you,
Yes.
Allie. It's a lot of work for that amount
Yes,
of
and
money.
it's a very, very high stressful environment. The times where I've visited the pool, I look at our employees, I look at our staff, I look at our lifeguards at that pool, and you can see it in their face. We've had complaints that people are saying they're really very strict at the pool. Well, if I'm at that pool and I see the number amount of people in the water, if I'm that lifeguard, I'm going to be very strict because one person goes under. We have a policy, well, they're all trained to where if somebody goes under, somebody needs assistance in the pool, there's supposed to be a double lifeguard saving that person. So there should be 2 lifeguards. If we only have one lifeguard at the pool, um, and it's a lot of people in the pool, they've got to actually clear everybody out of the pool while they're trying to save someone's life. And so it's a very high stress environment. Our lifeguards do call in on sick days when it gets to be too much for them. And we do our best not to shut the pools down when that happens. We have pools in all of your districts. So you all understand our issues, and we try to keep you all updated as well when we have to close a pool for some reason, because we know the public will be calling.
Mo, can you just share with my colleagues why we can't shuffle lifeguards around between the different pools? They're hired into those specific positions at a specific pool. Is that correct? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it's just like they're all employees in other departments. We have you get hired for the Pahoa pool. That is your station. Um, if we do ask when we are short at another, or when we're short at, say, for instance, the Pahoa pool, and if we try to get a lifeguard from another pool, we actually may have to shut that pool down to run the other pool. So it's a big shuffling game that Alejandra and Mason, are constantly doing. Uh, so yeah, that's what we're kind of.
Thank you. Any lifeguard openings across the county? Or are you fully staffed everywhere? I realize even if you are fully staffed, you're not really fully staffed. You could still use more personnel.
Correct. We're almost fully staffed, and we have we have 2 pools that are down right now for repairs. We have Honoka'a Pool, so we have our lifeguards at Honoka'a Pool working at Lapahoihoi Pool, try to give more hours there. And at KCAC in Kona, we're down, so we shifted those lifeguards to Kona Waina to extend our hours there.
Okay, thank you, Mo. And then if you could just the Pahoa District Park and the
Okay.
status of the 428 alternative project submittal to FEMA.
Okay, so we submitted 428, and that is for Ahala Nui, Warm Ponds, and also for Isaac Hale or Pohiki Park. As far as the Pahoa District Park goes, we've completed all repairs at the pool, obviously, which is why it's open now. We recently completed all work on the playground equipment, so our playground is open now. Um, we've done some temporary fixtures in our gym, keep the gym going, and we are currently working with FEMA right now for the amount that we're going to be for the estimates for the repair work at Pahoa District Park. But while that's going on, we've already started working on our scope of operations and our bid document. So regardless of what's happening with FEMA, we're still going to be moving forward with our repairs at Pahoa Park. Our repairs include damages to obviously almost all of the fields there, the gym flooring, the weight room, and the dugout.
Mo, do you have a timeline for when the fields will be um, out for, or just able for community to use? When will the repairs be done?
Like I said, we're working on those documents right now, but this is also in conjunction with our 13 ADA projects that we're also working on throughout the island. We have one planner that that is doing all this work right now, or doing all these documents. So we are moving forward with everything, and we're doing what we can as well. And if there's a way we can do some of the work in-house, we're trying to do that as well. But our maintenance uh, staff is, for instance, they just got through working all week in Kona, where I'm at now, getting the fields ready for the Kapuna softball, and they have about 4 more months of solid straight work that they're going to be doing. Um, so as soon as we can get a timeline, I'll get it to you. But we are working on the document right now.
Okay. And if we can just post some of this information on the Parks and Rec website, that would be really helpful. I'd be happy to also share that information with the Puna community. People are just, they're wondering, and they Google when they don't know. And so if we can have that information easily available online, that would go a long way.